Allow me to introduce you to Tony. Tony is a drop of oil. A drop of frying oil to be precise. And we're accompanying Tony on his first day at work. There he is already. And frying is about to start. What Tony doesn't know is that on average, he has to be disposed of after 36 frying hours. I'd have thought you'd have kept going a little bit longer. But after 3 days, or perhaps another 1 or 2, you're just not good enough for frying anymore. And do you know why? You start spreading unpleasant smells. You spoil the good flavour of the food, and you get really difficult to digest. That's how it is. Your quality's gone, and your useful life is much too short. Poor Tony. But don't worry, that's all quite natural. For frying, you need hot frying oil, because the food first has to be coated in this hot oil before the Maillard reaction can take place. That's what you call the browning effect that happens during frying. And that's important because it's what gives fried food the unmistakable aroma and flavour we all know and love. This crispness, combined with the natural taste of chips, fried chicken or donuts, is the result of numerous chemical and physical reactions that occur during the frying process. When a chip lands in hot oil, Tony immediately gives it a protective coating which keeps the moisture and the flavour inside the chip. And being cuddled all over by hot little Tony is what cooks the chip and turns it golden brown and crispy and delicious. That's what our busy little Tony does all day long, which makes him very productive, but also very dirty. That's not really a big problem. You just filter the oil through a passing sieve every evening, and then he's as good as new again. And if we keep the fryer properly cleaned, we can carry on frying cheerfully day after day. But unfortunately, this alone isn't enough. Tony can only keep this up for 3 days, maybe a day or 2 longer, but then, quite frankly, he tastes awful. Because now he has TPM, too much total polar materials. Total polar materials is the total amount of polar compounds, and these polar compounds are nothing other than all fat-degrading substances that are found in frying oil. The TPM value of frying oil can be determined precisely. It's as easy as taking someone's temperature. These fat-degrading substances increase by about 6 to 10% every day. At 24% TPM, the oil has to be disposed of, as that's the maximum permissible TPM level in most EU countries. In Switzerland and Austria, the maximum level allowed is 27% TPM. Above these levels, food safety standards define frying oil as unfit for human consumption. Even if the cook does everything right and doesn't heat the oil to above 170 degrees C, doesn't use soap detergents for cleaning, doesn't put food in the frying basket when it's above the fryer or fill it to more than 10% of the oil volume, and also makes sure that the standby temperature doesn't fall below 120 degrees C, he can only briefly delay the frying oil's degradation process. He can't stop it. Tony has got to go. We're so sorry, Tony. Farewell, dear friend. Stop! There must be something we can do to help Tony. That thought must have crossed your mind too. Well, here's the solution. Introducing Solfina. Solfina can prolong Tony's useful life by helping him to regenerate using a powder called Magnesol. So, Tony, what do you think? Fancy a bit of regeneration? The practical application is quick and easy, and so is the explanation of how it works. Magnesol powder has the ability to bind micron-sized fat-degrading particles that are harmful for Tony, the TPMs. Even substances producing odours and off-flavours can't resist the powder's neutralising attraction. This is what you do. Place the Solfina filter box into the basket, submerge them both in the hot frying oil, and scatter the powder into the oil via the box. Then switch off the fryer. Magnesol works overnight, and using the thermal mobility of the cooling oil, it reaches and regenerates every single Tony. For larger quantities of oil, a filter cart is used, and Magnesol is simply added during the filter process. the same effect is achieved, all Tonys are regenerated, only faster. What does regeneration actually mean for frying oil? Used every day, Magnesol absorbs almost the same proportion of fat-degrading compounds as the oil takes in. It's like a complete rejuvenation, which gets the oil back in top form every day. Full of chemicals? A definite no. Magnesol is made from minerals found in the Earth's crust. A technologically controlled process produces pure magnesium silicate in powder form. Magnesol is controlled by the EU and the FDA and is approved and certified as safe for food preparation. Regenerating frying oil with Magnesol powder means, firstly, offering the best frying quality every day. Secondly, extending the useful life of your oil significantly. Thirdly, working economically and sustainably with your frying oil. This all goes for chefs, and of course for bakers as well. Regenerating frying oil quite naturally means more flavour, better quality, and happy customers. Solfina, simply satisfied.